Hello everyone, welcome to my reflective video diary. This video is also part of my assignment for the training course named Supervising Postgraduate Research, run by Organization and Staff Development Unit, University of Strathclyde. And let me introduce myself first. My name is Quan Zhenzhen, currently a researcher at the Department of Design, Manufacture and Engineering Management. I set off my research life as a Master of Research in 2004 at the Northwestern Polytechnic University in Xi'an, China. With the recommendation of my master supervisor, I got a chance to start my joint PhD journey at Strathclyde in 2008, which was sponsored by the EU Asia Link project and was under the joint supervision scheme between the Northwestern Polytechnic University in China and the University of Strathclyde in UK. After that, I was offered a researcher assistant position in my current department, EMEM, in 2013, and I'm working on an EPSRC project relating to laser-assisted machining of difficult-to-cut materials for microproducts. My research interests focus on advanced manufacturing technology and precision engineering. For me, making a decision to pursue a research degree was such a natural impetus. My bachelor degree, master's degree were in the field of mechanical engineering, and I had considered that it's more suitable for me to go further in the academic and research community after my master's. There happened to be a great chance to study at Strathclyde in the manufacturing field because of the cooperation of two universities, and I found that Strathclyde is a well-recognized university, especially in engineering. Finally, I made my decision to register for a PhD degree here without too much hesitation. After reading some literature, I found some nationalists among students and supervisors. One of the critical awareness of relevant research on supervision is that the supervisor can make or break a PhD student. More specifically, the communication between the supervisor and the student is key. The relationship between student and supervisor has many facets, opportunities, and problems. It's an arena where training can raise awareness, enable the creation of professional boundaries, and prevent problems arising. A major finding was that the supervisor's own experience when themselves were students had a significant impact on how they now supervise. Some supervisors said that there was the strong influence of their days as a PhD student on their own supervision. Some supervisors described a way that their experience as a student had informed their current practice as a supervisor. Supervisors would seek to emulate, add to, or avoid their own experience. The responsibility of supervisor in a PhD program is to ensure that more than technique is learned. To do this, the students need to learn not only current practice, but how to address the problematic and the unknown. Research supervision is a facilitative process requiring support and challenge. Research supervision involves providing educational tasks and activities, which include processing the candidature, mentoring, coaching the research project, and sponsoring student participation in academic practice. Critical thinking is where the student is encouraged to question and analyze their work. It's the heart of PhD training. Critical thinking comes in many forms, but all possess a single core feature. It's presumed that human arguments require evaluation if they are to be worthy of widespread respect. It focuses on a set of skills and attitudes that enable a listener or reader to apply rational criteria to reasoning of speakers and writers. Critical thinking is largely a Western secularist intellectual tradition. It suggests to be sensitive to this when applying in different culture or to some disciplines. When I was at my early period of PhD as a supervisee, I got a misunderstanding of role and expectation at the beginning. I always thought that my supervisor would keep a close eye on my research progress and know exactly what I was doing, even every aspect of research details. But after several rounds of regular meeting with them, I found that it wasn't the case. My supervisor was likely to forget the advances of my research, and every time when we had a meeting, I may need to use at least a quarter of time to review what I have done, and went back to some details which he might have forgotten. This frustrated me and made me reckon that my PhD research thesis is not at the top list of his schedule. I felt discouraged for a while until finally I realized that I needed to be more self-driven and achieve my PhD course. It's my own PhD. Although now I could understand how busy some big professors are, I am not sure if it is a normal situation for most of the supervisors. Do they deliberately to train their PhD students' independence and self-driven ability by this way, or it is because they are really busy with some other more important things? Until I read some literature like How Are Doctoral Students Supervised? And Concepts of Doctoral Research and Supervision by Li An 2008, I realized that my supervisor actually had tried to establish my research independence from the scratch. I needed to read a lot, with his instruction, supervision, and the suggestions at the beginning to find my research focus mostly by myself. I needed to produce some words or charts before our meeting. I needed to initiate a discussion and be critical thinking of my existing research progress. When I know it's my doctorate, then I become more self-motivated and take the initiative. One of my reflection and critical awareness of the supervision is that communication between the supervisor and the student is key. It is of vital importance to understand the expectation, roles, and responsibilities for institution supervisors and students when at different key stages in their PhD journey. Normally, for a supervisee, he or she needs to make it clear that the difference between a doctorate student and other types of higher education qualifications. As a PhD candidate, he needs to read and write literature review to determine research aims, methodology, research play as soon as possible. He needs to initiate regular meetings to report his progress regularly to supervisor and receive feedback from supervisor. He needs to do some agreed adjustment if needed. Normally, the institution will only accept research students into an environment that provides support for doing and learning about research and where high-quality research is occurring. While for a supervisor, he or she also needs to make it clear to his or her PhD candidates that whose doctorate it is anyway. He or she needs to guide and instruct students on their discussed and agreed research topic and direction. They don't have to change the research direction at discretion, but respect the PhD student's idea and the willingness of research. He or she needs to try to give instructive and helpful supervision on PhD students' research. Normally, institutions will appoint supervisors who have appropriate skills and subject knowledge to support, encourage, and monitor research student effectively. Supervision for me is that the department supervisor and the PhD students are all responsible for a perfect research supervision relationship. The supervisor and the supervisee are needed to be clear of their own expectations and responsibilities. The department needs to have some mechanism to ensure the supervisees and the chance to reflect or complement any possible irrelevant guidance. If the PhD student could get more chances and take the initiative to directly evaluate the research supervision they have experienced, then the supervisor will know much better their responsibility and the expectations from their own PhD students. Okay, that's all about my recent reflection of being a supervisee. I know it may have impact on my future supervision as a supervisor. Thank you for your attention, and I will welcome your comments. Thank you.